Welcome to the introduction to Word2WAV Part 2 recording. In Part 1, we set up the audio parameters and imported the script. We are now ready to record. The recorder window displays several cells. In the center, the active cell in yellow. It contains a file which will be recorded, and some cells above and below the active cells. This setup allows you to read in context, knowing whether the text is a title, a full paragraph, or an entry in a list, for instance, in order to adapt your delivery as needed. You can bring any cell in the active position using these vertical arrows. Note that the name of the active cell is displayed here for reference. Remember that these file names are taken directly from the script, so you know they are correct. Go to View, Cell Formatting. Depending on the size of the file to be recorded, you can modify the number of cells displayed, making them larger if needed, in order for all the text to be displayed at once without scrolling. The more cells, the better for context, but 7 cells is not always feasible. Experiment to see what works best for your project. Again, the cells above and below the active cell are just to provide context. They do not affect the recording process in any way. Here I am going to choose 7 cells left aligned. Note that if a particular cell still requires scrolling, like this one, you can expand it before recording using the single cell display button. The normal layout will resume automatically. Ready? Let's click Record. Wines Catalog, a wine cellar management program. Note that the buttons are context sensitive to facilitate the operation. Let's check the recording. Wines Catalog, a wine cellar management program. You probably won't like the first take, so let's do another one. But before we do that, let's open the project folder to see what is going on behind the scene. Let's go to View, Project Folder, and place the two windows side by side. Note that Word2WAV has created a backup folder when it imported the script. I will open it under the project folder. Note also that the file we just recorded is here, its name matching the name provided in the script with the WAV extension. So let's re-record that first file. Here we go. Wines Catalog, a wine cellar management program. Notice that the original file has been renamed BU for backup with a timestamp, and that the new file is now in our project folder. If I record it again, the second take is moved to the backup and the latest take is saved in the project folder. Wines Catalog, a wine cellar management program. This way, the project folder always contains the good text, but all the previous texts are saved should we need them later for some reason, and believe me, we often do. Assuming that I've tried a few files and found my tone, speed of delivery, etc., I'm ready to record. As you can tell by now, I'm not a voiceover and I'm going to fake it, but you can get the idea. Let's cover the project folder and concentrate on the recorder window. Here we go. Wines Catalog, a wine cellar management program. Wines Catalog allows you to keep track of your wines, not only the wines in your cellar, but also the wines you have already enjoyed. To that end, each bottle is automatically assigned a number by Wines Catalog, blah 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 blah. However, we are really interested in wines, not in bottles, blah blah blah. As each file is recorded, a green bar is displayed on the left and the recording counter here is incremented. Let's go back to the top of the script in order to review our work. In the operating mode block, let's switch from recording to review and click play. Wines Catalog, a wine cellar management program. Wines Catalog allows you to keep track of your wines, not only the wines in your cellar, but also the ones you have already enjoyed. To that end, each bottle is automatically assigned a number by wine's catalog, blah 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 blah. However, we are really interested in wines, not in bottles, blah blah blah. The files are played in sequence, without any intervention. Note that reviews start automatically as soon as there is a break in recording. When reviewing the files, you can stop at any point and re-record a file. Then back up a few files before resuming the review, so as to make sure the pickup is not noticeable. Wines Catalog, the wine cellar management program. Wines Catalog allows you to keep track of your wines, not only Wines Catalog allows you to keep track of your wines, not only the wines in your cellar, but also the wines you have already enjoyed. Wines Catalog, the wine cellar management program. Wines Catalog allows you to keep track of your wines, not only the wines in your cellar, but also the wines you have already enjoyed. To that end, each bottle is automatically assigned a number by Wines Catalog, blah 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 blah. When you are really in the groove, and particularly with short files, like the one we have here in this list, you can use auto-record. Notice, by the way, the advantage to display the cells ahead of the currently narrated cell. Go to the top operating mode block and click Auto. Here we go. Wines Catalog features 4 main views. At a glance, a schematic representation of the cellar. List, a spreadsheet representation of the cellars. List, a spreadsheet representation of the cellar. Bottle detail, a display of all the information available on a given bottle. And stats, a summary information about your cellar. As you can see, the navigation arrows are gone. I only have to press record and stop, and each time Word2WAV brings the next cell in the active position. You can rewind and notice that I retook one cell without going out of auto mode simply by using the re-record previous button. Word2WAV moved back one cell and allowed me to proceed. Auto mode is extremely efficient with short files, like if you record a dictionary or some telephony, for instance. Again, notice that my good take is in the project folder. The bad one has been moved in the backup folder. Wines Catalog features 4 main views. At a glance, a schematic representation of the cellar. List, a spreadsheet representation of the cellar. Bottle detail, a display of all the information available on a given bottle. And stats, a summary information about your cellar. To conclude this recording section, let's look at a few features. If your client provides some comments in the script, you can see them as you record. Click on Open Comments to display them. Note that the displayed comment always relates to the active cell above. Look at this block in Setup to see various automated processes applicable to recording. You can also tag a file by clicking the Tag Audio File button here. Tag works like a post-it note. You can toggle the tag on and off as required. You can open the comment and add whatever you need to remember so as to have a paperless operation. Next feature of interest is the ability to record an alternate take. Let's go to this cell, for instance. So far, the script has used Wines Catalog, but here it refers to WC. Is it a mistake? Well, first record the cell the way it is provided to you. And here I will record the original cell with saying WC. Then click on Insert Alternate here. Word2WAV insert an alternate cell in orange. Notice that the name here is the same as the original, but ALT for alternate and the timestamp has been added so you can make as many alternates as needed. Make the correction you think is necessary, add a comment if needed, then record. And do the recording of this one using Wines catalog. Both files are now in the project folder. Send both to the client and let him decide which one to use. Last thing is the ability to export the script as recorded. Go to View, Import Script, and click on Export as recorded. Now open the project folder, and here is the script as exported. Let's open it and resize it so we can see. The script shows all the changes and comments we have entered, as well as the imported error which have been fixed. You will remember that here there was an invalid character which has been replaced by a plus, and here there was no file name and in the provided script, and Word2WAV has provided no file name _1. Here is a note that you have entered. Here is a tag. And here, by the way, are the error code of the file when imported. You notice also the duration of each recorded file. You can send this exported script to your client for maximum efficiency. They may be interested in the backup folder as well. This concludes the introduction to the recording section. Please wait a few seconds while part 3 is loading.